Let's start, speaking of the LA Galaxy, with their matchup against Inter Miami and Lionel Messi. Packed house out there in Carson. David Beckham in his full circle moment. Herc was there, producer Beto was there, so was Sergio Busquets, and he pulls down the new DP, Joseph Paintsel here. Obvious penalty, Herc.
Right in front of Edward Norton, too. Paintsel goes down, Sergio Busquets, you got to get booked there. He does not get booked. This is a clear booking, penalty right there. I'll tell you what, the Ghanaian winger looking very active in this game.
So eventually we do go to the spot. It's going to be Ricky Puig, who steps up against Drake Callender and can't beat him, Herc.
Yeah, that one's going to sting Ricky Puig because the last time I remember him taking a penalty kick, he missed as well. It was in Salt Lake. Misses that one. Big chance for the Galaxy. Massive save for Drake Callender.
Game stays scoreless. 29th minute, Puig trying to redeem himself, shot off the crossbar with a touch from Callender.
Ridiculous touch from Drake Callender. This is all Drake Callender. Ricky Puig trying to catch him on his near post. Great strike. Even better save. Look at this right here. Fingertips, then off the crossbar.
Galaxy knocking on the door and the woodwork, but unable to break through. Quiet first half for Messi, almost though Herc taking advantage of a Galaxy mistake here. His shot deflected, but ultimately saved.
Yeah, I think John McCarthy just wants to make sure, and he parries it wide. Maybe could have caught it. You don't want to take any chances.
So it's scoreless at the half. We go into the second half. Messi starting to come to life on that left foot. Draws another save.
Yeah, we're being very generous with the Messi highlights here. There was a bit of a total domination in the first half that we glanced over in it. Watch this. Check it out.
65th minute, Galaxy with a chance. Yamane off the post.
Drake Callender was very good in the first half. Right here, leaned one way. Very fortunate off the post.
Felt like a Galaxy goal was coming. It would eventually fall in the 75th minute. Galaxy running on the break. Inter Miami's defense nowhere to be found. Marky Delgado finds the rebound, feeds it across. Dejan Joveljic. How about that for an easy tap in?
Yeah, you thought Ricky Puig could have maybe sprayed it out wide, drew a defender, opts to shoot. The rebound is there. Marky Delgado very smartly, intelligently opt to Joveljic, who was very quiet through the night, but as good goal scorers do, they find their goal doing what they all do, sniffing it out, and it's an easy tap in.
LA Galaxy with a deserved 1-0 lead at home. Inter Miami would get a break here. 88th minute, some controversy. Delgado picking up a second yellow card for, you can't see me, but I'm putting it in air quotes, this tackle on Sergio Busquets, Herc.
Mark Delgado cannot believe it. Second yellow card. Greg Vanny, Larry, he lets you know what he's, yeah, BS, he says. Look at this. Never touches Sergio Busquets, who goes down. Marky Delgado sees a second yellow, red, and then shortly after, look at this.
Inter Miami still hunting. Jordi Alba, the Lionel Messi, didn't miss by much, Herc.
Yeah, once they went down a man, the Galaxy you just knew was bound to happen. They're absorbing a lot of pressure. Messi's coming to life, and Inter Miami's getting closer.
Messi and Alba didn't work that time in the 89th minute, but 3 minutes later, it does. How about this for a equalizer?
I mean, how many times have you seen that play from Jordi Alba, and Lionel Messi? They have it drawn into their memories. They've done it millions of times. I feel like the last time we saw this was in Dallas Leagues Cup. They do it again. Messi right here with the outside of the left foot. Very good finish. But if you're the Galaxy right there, you have 10 men against 11. Just clear the ball. There's no reason to try to play out the back like that.
Game finishes 1-1 there. Replacement refs and all. Herc, many out there, including our producer Beto, are saying this was Inter Miami's worst performance of the Lionel Messi era. Do you agree?
That's a good shout. I'm trying to think, because listen, the Leo Messi era doesn't just mean when Messi plays, but I can't even think of a game where they played without Messi, where they played this bad. And you know what the worst part about it was? It was sad. It was like watching your heroes get old in front of you, like before your very eyes. Luis Suarez couldn't move. Jordi Alba was a cone at times. Messi was nowhere to be involved, even though he tried. Sergio Busquets, like, it's been a while since I've seen Sergio Busquets be one-way traffic like that. This was something else for Tata Martino's team. It was one of the worst performances I have seen of Messi and his team in any jersey. Forget Inter Miami, any jersey, and we've seen some performances where Barcelona has come out of the losing end by 6-7 goals to a Bayern Munich. This is one of those moments where if the game at halftime is 4-0 Galaxy, you don't think twice about it. It was that bad, and I repeat, it's the fact that you have this collection of superstars who look not just human, but brittle and right before your eyes.
Yeah. I kept thinking the thing that was going to let this team down, Herc, was going to be its defense. But even with Messi, Alba, Busquets, and now Luis Suarez up there, they're just not that dangerous. I mean, in the first half, to your point, the LA Galaxy totally played them off the pitch. Inter Miami had 60% possession in the first half. And for all that, they had one shot on goal. And it was that deflected shot that Messi had that was lucky that it even happened. It came off a kind of total blooper mistake at the back for the LA Galaxy. I don't know how, Herc, with this type of attacking talent, you can be so toothless as Inter Miami was last night. It was their worst performance of the Messi era. I think it was also his worst performance. He was frustrated. You could see him yelling at his teammates, yelling at the Galaxy guys, yelling at the replacement refs, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. And I got to think some of that is fatigue. You know, it's a cross-country flight. 2 games in 4 days. It's the worldwide travel that we've seen throughout the preseason. It's starting to wear on these guys. The question, though, is, Herc, is everybody else or anybody else in this league good enough to take advantage? Because Inter Miami, with Lionel Messi playing for 90 minutes, they're worth at least a goal, if not 2. And RSL couldn't take advantage of the many opportunities they had. And the LA Galaxy here, man, as well as they played, and I think, we'll get to them in just a minute. There's a lot of reasons for optimism if you're a Galaxy fan. They couldn't take advantage of the opportunities they had. Is the rest of MLS good enough to push this Inter Miami? Because this Inter Miami is not perfect, but they're escaping so far through 2 games.
Yeah, it smells very much like last season. Think about it. How many games do they have where they should have gotten 3-4 goals against them until something happens, a moment of brilliance? And by my calculations, that's like the 5th time Messi saved them over the 80th minute, where he comes to the rescue, whether it's a game winner or it's a game-tying goal, or he does something to give his team points. That's going to run out like it did last season. Listen, Cruz Azul thoroughly outplayed last year in Leagues Cup. We can go to the Open Cup game versus Cincinnati. We can go to long stretches of the game versus Nashville. We can go to long stretches of the game versus LAFC here in Los Angeles last year when Inter Miami should have been down 4-0, where Denny Bouanga had probably 3 or 4 himself. Teams are leaving Inter Miami and the best player of all time, Messi, on the hook. And if you leave a team like that with so much individual talent on the hook, still breathing, they're going to make you pay. And that happened to the Galaxy. Now, how it happened to the Galaxy, we'll get into in a second. But the second half performance shouldn't be why the Galaxy lost this. It's their first half performance, their inability to put them away.
Have we seen the blueprint now? I mean, if we saw RSL,
Yeah.
And I know it's 2 different games, right? It's RSL going away, so they're going to have a different approach on the road than maybe they would at home. And it's LA Galaxy at home, so they're going to probably have a more aggressive approach at home than they would on the road. But we've seen the 2 different approaches you can take to Inter Miami. The one that RSL used, I don't think worked quite as well as what the LA Galaxy were able to do, especially in that first half, Herc. They made Inter Miami and some of these great players, especially Busquets, look almost pedestrian under that pressure.
I mean, I think you see where the glaring weaknesses are, or what hurts Inter Miami the most, and it's if you're dynamic, if you're fast, if you're physical, because some of their players, and I repeat, 11 versus 11, I don't care who you think you have on your team, regardless if it's the best player to ever play the game. If you have a weak link or multiple weak links, especially physically, they're going to hurt you, and that was the case. Joseph Painstill, had a field day in the first half. I think Diego Fagundes cutting in and allowing, some of that play to come in centrally to Ricky Puig was very good in that first half. Jovic was quiet, but they had chances. So, regardless of what the Galaxy or teams have not done in the past, I think the blueprint is there. You let Inter Miami have the ball. You let them, you got to rope-a-dope them, have them come to you so that space is there for you to exploit after, and you can counter them at will. It's that easy against Inter. Now, you've got to take advantage of it, because if not, Messi's going to do what Messi continues to do in this league and will continue to do if you give him space.